Bluff City Media presents the Two Buck Sports Show with your hosts, Rusty Buckets and Uncle Buck. Now, let's get to the show.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to your Wednesday edition of the Two Buck Sports Show. I am your co-host, Rusty Buckets, coming to you live from Memphis, but not East Memphis. I got my guy Drew Gann hanging out here live and in person. We're not two different screens. We're actually together. Stop touching me. It's weird. But I got my guy Drew Gann here with me today. Uncle Buck, how's it going, man?
What up? Day off work here on Hump Day. I took off for a special occasion. We are at Grind City Brewing here in Memphis, Tennessee, right on the edge of the river. I can see the last pyramid ever built by humans. Maybe the only pyramid ever built by humans.
Depending on who
if
you
you
ask.
Get on the right YouTube channel here. So it's a beautiful day here. Yeah. It is hot, but we are indoors. We are together. We can touch each other, but we choose not to. So
exactly.
Glad to be here, man.
Yeah, man, it's nice to get out of the house. You know, I've been stuck. Y'all been following along in this real estate school for the last 4 weeks, and I've been glued to my desk. And so I do get out. My truck still does work. I was able to come out here to Grind City. It's a beautiful venue. It's a beautiful day. Like you said, we got the pyramid, the M Bridge in the background. And Drew, I'm trying to think. We've done one actual episode together over a Christmas break when I was home.
Right.
And then this is the only other time that we've been together for a show where we're not crushing Little Debbie snack cakes.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, this is not as fun as the show that we did when we were crushing Little Debbie snack cake. This is the first live show that we ever did, because I think even correct me if I'm wrong, even the play-in game where we went live, I don't believe that was even live streamed.
Yeah, no. So this is our first on location Two Buck Sports Show live here at Grind City Brewing. But more about that to come here in a minute. We do have a real versus counterfeit that we've got to get to. You know, it's Wednesday. It's our first segment here at 11 a.m. Central, live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, soon to be every day.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
I know, right? It's weird not having a computer in front of me. But here on Wednesdays, we do our real versus counterfeit segment. Welcome back to the Two Buck Sports Show here live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 11 a.m. Central. Kenny with the bumper video helping me out here trying to run this show. Again, I don't know what to do with my hands.
I'd like to apologize for that error in production.
Come on,
I do want to say I am here with you guys. Drew, you were catching a lot of strays in the comments. Everybody wants me to show your feet dangling from the chair. They said
that noise you just heard was my feet slapping the floor.
Someone give Drew a pillow to sit on or a booster seat. Bro needs a high chair.
Listen, I am a short person, but I am above the minimum threshold to be considered a dwarf, okay? I'm a natural human being with normal genetics. They're just slightly smaller.
That's amazing.
Blame my parents. Don't let me catch all the strays here. Yeah. I didn't do this. I didn't choose this.
But listen, Kenny, thank you for driving the ship. At least it's not me this time with StreamYard having a wrestling match. I appreciate that. And King Meeks, you're just jealous that I can wear these kind of shorts, man. Skies out, thighs out, always in the summer. But on Wednesdays, we do our real versus counterfeit segment. And in our real versus counterfeit segment, I give Drew a take, and he tells me whether it's real or counterfeit. And so I'm going to stoke the fire here a little bit, Drew. We've had a conversation about this in recent weeks, but it was announced this morning before my coffee had even taken at 7:30 that the Memphis Grizzlies are going international for 2 games this season. Not only are they going international, but it's in January, games on January 15th and 18th, one in London, England, and one in Berlin, Germany, against the Orlando Magic. And so it's cool that we get to play overseas. Those are Desmond Bain games that we were hoping were going to be in Memphis. So my real versus counterfeit to you, real or counterfeit, this is Adam Silver's way of trying to divide the NBA and Memphis to create what some people think are going to happen, and that's Memphis getting out, the Grizzlies leaving Memphis.
No, I think that's counterfeit. I don't think that Adam Silver actively roots for teams to relocate. I think that Adam Silver wants to get to 32 teams. If he wants a team in Vegas, he's going to get a team in Vegas that LeBron is going to co-own, and you're going to do this whole thing. But he's not choosing from the other lower middle market, smaller market teams to relocate. He's just going to build him a new team in Las Vegas, and LeBron's going to have his thing. I'm scared. The NBA, to my knowledge, correct me if I'm wrong, Jack can correct me. I think Kenny's watching it. This is the first regular season games that's happened outside of the U.S. and Canada. It's the first time that's happened for a regular season game in the NBA. And so my only frame of reference is what the NFL does. And I think my biggest gripe so far, and we'll get to some other gripes, but like I don't want to be considered the Jacksonville Jaguars of the NBA. Like the Jacksonville Jaguars are like the step kid from strip club capital USA, Jacksonville. And they're just like, we need to get these people away from the clubs. We're going to send them to Stuttgart, Germany, or Rio de Janeiro. And we're just going to make them, like, confine them to their hotel rooms for a couple weeks. And I just don't want to be the team that is just like, oh, well, you know, we're not going to send LA to Europe. We'll send Memphis.
So I know they've done some games kind of early season overseas, but this is the first one since like 2015 that it's an actual NBA regular season game that's overseas, if I'm remembering correctly. My big thing, I think, I'm going to look at it from the other angle. I'm glad you have sense and understand that Adam Silver is not purposely trying to move like some people have been pushing on social medias. But I think this is a testament to who Ja Morant is, because Ja is a global sensation. If you don't believe me, check YouTube, check Twitter, and see the reception that he's getting on this world tour. He's got a whole shoe deal. He's got a whole world tour announced by Nike. And I think this kind of falls in line with that branding for Ja Morant. And it's nice that they see we have a legit superstar that they want to showcase on an international stage, where Adam Silver has been on record saying, I've envisioned teams internationally in the coming future for the NBA. And so if you can take what is obviously one of their superstars, and this didn't happen this morning or over the weekend, they didn't just decide to play. This has been in the works for years. Watching Ja Morant's brand grow, watching the 12 brand become a thing, I think it's a testament to who Ja is, that they want to showcase Ja on an international scale and get him in front of new audiences and in new stadiums. And, you know, the last time the NBA had a game at the O2 Arena in London, they had just over 18,000 people, and capacity is 20,000. I think Ja Morant puts a butt in every chair for this game.
There is no doubt about that. And if you want to find the positives, you want to find the ways that to look at this as a positive for Memphis and the Grizzlies franchise, it is that. It's like that you are a team that's marketable, that can put butts in seats. But if you really wanted to make an argument like, let's put on a spectacle in bring NBA across the ocean, and where is the NBA most beloved, you go put a game in like Japan or China. You see that. And I know the logistics with the governments and stuff is off, but for me, listen, I'm an American exceptionalist.
Sure.
I do believe that this is the greatest land that has ever existed in the history of the world. And so for me, I think we're looking at this wrong. What we've done here is we have chosen two countries to go and take our talents to, our best that we have to offer, our example of American excellence, the Memphis Grizzlies. And we're taking them across the pond to England to remind them that we're still better than them, and to Germany and to remind them that we're still better than them.
Oh, Lord.
Like, you guys thought you were cool back in the day, but we won a war against both of you. So
here's Ja Morant as a consolation prize.
We're just going to show you, again, England, like, you don't have any NBA players.
Yeah.
So if you want to pick another fight with us, this is the people who's fighting for us.
Yeah. I think, too, the thing that's we give you Ja Morant as a consolation prize, but for Memphis Grizzly fans, I hit my mic here.
You wanted nothing to do with that train of thought at all.
I didn't. I'm going to leave that alone.
You wanted nothing.
I'm going to let that is a reflection of Uncle Buck and not of Bluff City Media. I'm going to say that.
Saying.
The thing with like Ja Morant's your consolation prize, it's cool that he's going over there, but like the timing is what stinks for me.
Yeah.
Like if this was November or this was March, I'd have absolutely no beef with this decision. But the Memphis Grizzlies have been one of the longest standing teams to play on MLK weekend. It's big for the city. You know, we had the big symposium last year. We had all the events surrounding that. Jaren Jackson Jr. was highlighted and gave a pregame speech for that. And it's just such a cool music and history and cultural event for the Memphis Grizzlies to celebrate MLK and his contributions to the city and to this great country. And it's just tough that the timing is what it is, because they're going to be gone in Europe. They're not going to come back and play a game in between those here in Memphis for MLK Day.
Right.
Like they're gone. And so we're not going to get an MLK Day game in the first time in I don't know how long.
Yeah.
And that's what rubs me the wrong way, is like this was clearly like obviously premeditated. We knew this was coming. could we not have figured out a better timing for it in early season? I know that we've got the in-season tournament and all that, but could we not have played this later in the season?
Yeah, I'm with you there. The MLK Day is a crown jewel in the Memphis Grizzlies season every year. When the schedule releases, it's the first thing you're looking at, who you're playing on MLK Day. MLK Day is January 19th this year. We're playing the 18th. I don't know time differences. We're playing the 18th. Is that the 19th here? I don't know.
I mean, they are in the future.
So I don't know. But that does stink. You don't get the symposium, and you don't get to honor the former players or activists that they want to bring in.
Yeah. Kenny, what you got?
Yeah, Luke Hatmaker actually is in the chat section. He asked this question. I love it. If they're building a Grizzlies Magic rivalry, is it signaling a Memphis move to the Eastern Conference with an expansion?
I love that idea. I hope so. Honestly, because if nothing else, because I'm an old man, I like to go to bed at a reasonable hour. I'm over the 10 p.m. tips against the Kings and the Warriors and the Trailblazers when we run these West Coast runs like that. I mean, I think it could be. I feel like a natural move. Obviously, the Memphis Grizzlies, Minnesota Timberwolves are two of the teams that are the furthest east in the Western Conference. We came over Vancouver. That's why. But it would be a natural rivalry to join that kind of southeastern division of the Eastern Conference. You've got the Hawks, you've got the Magic, you've got the Sixers, you got the Hornets already, most of them except for the Sixers being in the American Southeast. It would make sense for the Grizzlies to naturally transition there. And then in the future, if you add international teams on that side of the pond, maybe they join that conference as well. But to me, it's a no-brainer slam dunk to move the Memphis Grizzlies to the Eastern Conference because of the location.
Yeah, I just think it's probably a little bit simpler than that. It's probably just who can logistically do it. Again, if you want to talk, if you do it, I think they probably wanted to do the same two teams play each other back to back. That's what you saw. The Grizzlies will play Orlando in London, then 3 days later they'll play in Germany or vice versa, however it goes. But it's the same two teams. They don't want to fly out 4 teams or 3 teams, just 2 teams. And so if you look at how that schedules, an Eastern Conference team versus a Western Conference team, they play each other only 2 times that year. It just kind of makes it work out logistically. You're not having to worry about, because if Western versus Western or Eastern versus Eastern, you're playing either 3 or 4 times. Then you've got divisional stuff, and then you've got the Emirates Cup you're worried about. I think it was just easier to take 2 teams from opposite conferences. You don't have to worry about how it works out in standings or anything like that. And you just play them over there for 2 games, and you're just like, okay, that's your season. But that also, when you're talking about the Grizzlies in particular and the Magic, that's the worst matchup you could do, because you want to be able to celebrate Desmond Bane. You want to have his moment, his tribute video, and you want it to do it early in the season. You know, you only get the Magic in FedEx Forum 1 time this year. And because of that, and because now you're playing those overseas, you're going to have to wait till, I guess, fall of 26 or early 27 to give Desmond Bane his flowers.
The only other option would be during that week of those 2 weeks of the NBA Cup, if our filler game ends up being the Magic at home. That could be a possibility, but
logistically, you don't know that you can plan.
And that's it.
Plan out what you want to do around that game for him. You know, when it comes to game op stuff. Right. Now, I don't know what goes into that, but I guarantee you, it's more than what we think. As fans sitting in there watching it. So I just hate it on a lot of levels. You know, I would have done it preseason. I think if you want to incorporate that, you know, you could. If the Grizzlies played every single one of their preseason games in London and just played 5 games in 5 different countries across the pond, you would have no complaints from me whatsoever. You know, odds are they would probably be like a lunchtime games, and I can't think of a better way to spend your lunch other than watching the 2 Bucks and the Grizzlies preseason game in Oslo, Norway. You know, like I would just, I'd be cool with that. I don't like the regular season though.
I feel that. But yeah, the Memphis Grizzlies are going international. We get to watch them play overseas, build a new brand for the NBA. Unfortunately, it does take away some of the excitement for Desmond Bane, but we're not going to let that get our excitement down here at Grind City Brewing. Drew, we got a quick commercial break that we're going to run. Got to pay the bills a little bit, but we've got a super exciting guest on the other side with some big announcements for Bluff City Media, for the 2 Buck Sports Show, for Grind City Brewing, and what you're going to do this fall to watch college football. Super excited about that, and we'll see y'all after the break.
choking and token. The Mid-South's first cannabis-themed jiu-jitsu tournament.
August 16th at Midtown Krav Maga and Jiu-Jitsu.
At 1 p.m. 21 plus to compete or consume.
Consumption not required.
Ounce of Hope is licensed by the state of Tennessee. This is all 100% legal hemp products. Everything's good to go.
We'll have gi divisions.
No gi divisions.
Madison bracket guaranteeing 4 matches per division plus an absolute winner.
Each fighter receives an Ounce of Hope gift bag, and there's prizes for every winner.
Check out the link below to sign up.
You cannot compromise the integrity of the game any more than completely giving the other team every bit of what you're going to do. Like,
Yes.
For me, it is asinine to think that any competitor in any level on any team would say, you know what, screw all of these people that I play with. I do not care. I'm so pissed at the coaching staff and the players in front of me. Like, to get to a point where you send out your signals to an opposing quarterback, to me, it's just insane.
Yeah, this is treacherous, brother. You don't do this. I've seen multiple guys when I was at the University of Memphis be angry with the coach or want to get in the, go transfer, pissed off because they're not getting playing time. I don't think any of those guys ever had it cross their mind, hey, I'm going to go leak the playbook to our opponents.
Right.
Like, that's just some bullshit. And like, between the stolen the PS5 and that, like, you know what it tells me? He's not a good guy.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. In the heart of the Highland Strip for 27 years, Trilogy Tattoo has helped tell stories for Memphians for generations. Located at 530 South Highland, Richie and his team are waiting to help you tell yours.
From tattoos to piercings, your body art should be as unique as you are. Voted a Memphis Flyer top 3 tattoo shop in the city of Memphis since day one. Your story will be safe here at Trilogy Tattoo.
Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 11 to 11, and 3 to 11 on Sundays. They have convenient times waiting on you. Let Trilogy Tattoo help you tell your story.
Welcome back to the 2 Bucks Sports Show, live here on your lunch break on this Wednesday at 11 o'clock Central, always here on YouTube. If you're on Twitter, go ahead and hop on YouTube. Give us a like when you get here. Hop in the comments. We'll be working through those. Kenny's helping us get those. But we do have a new face on set with us here today. We got Zach Callahan of Grind City Brewing coming to hang out with us today. Zach, thanks for letting us come and host our show here today and for hanging out with us, man. Appreciate you being here.
Yeah, man. Pumped to see you boys. Glad to be here and super excited about everything we got in store. So,
yeah.
Is it time for the announcement?
Let's do it, man.
Time
The floor is yours,
yeah.
man.
So we're super pumped. This fall, we're partnering Grind City with Bluff City Media here, and we're super excited about the plans for college football season. So pretty much a couple times a month, all the big games, starting off week 1, we're going to be live here at Grind City doing a live college football show from these guys. We're going to have beer specials. We're going to have the big games lined up for you on the projector, sound on. We're going to have all the other TVs lined up with big games. It's just going to be super awesome, and we can't wait. We're trying to make Grind City, the home for college football here in Memphis.
Yeah.
And just, get everybody out here and create that type of big sports bar environment. And we're super pumped for the show you guys are going to be doing. You want to talk about that for a little bit?
Yeah, we are pumped to be here. I mean, me and Rusty are massive college football fans, and anybody who's listened for any length of time know that we are massive college football fans. And what makes college football so much different than pro sports, especially in Mississippi where we grew up, where there are no professional sports franchises, especially football franchises, what makes college so special is that it is an event. and you think about tailgating, you think about good food with friends, you think about just hanging out all day, throwing bean bags, playing cornhole, washers, whatever. It's an event around a game. And so to be able to have a place and a partner with Grind City Brewing Company to put on an event that surrounds football. Like, football is great. Football standing alone is time well spent. But to be able to do everything else and to come hang out on a Saturday in the fall, I mean, you cannot find a better way to spend a Saturday.
Absolutely. And so we're going to be partnering here for this to be your home for college football on Saturday. So you're going to have myself, Drew, Christian Fowler of Bluff City Media as well. It's going to be doing some shows here. Other personalities and guests are going to be rolling through. You never know who's going to show up. But we're going to be doing a live college game day style show right here, probably on this porch right over here behind me. If it gets too blazing hot, we can move it in and have some fun in here. But it's going to be an awesome time, right? We're going to be, again, previewing the games coming up, giving our predictions, picking against the spread. We're going to have, as Zach said, beer specials. There's some other cool things going on this fall, just some teasers there that are going to be partnering with us alongside these events. But we're going to be your home to come hang out with your buddies, bring them down here. We're going to have, obviously, Mississippi State's represented, Ole Miss is represented, Auburn is represented. We'll have Tennessee. I know there's a lot of Arkansas fans that come here, right, Zach? You've got a kind of a college football following already.
I mean, for the last couple of years already, we've started to have a lot of people come up here on Saturdays. I mean, with the space that we have, this is a place where you can come hang out all day. And we're just trying to build the events around that and create the best guest experience possible. And so that's why we wanted to double down, find a good partner, and just help bring out as many people and create that tailgate kind of environment that you were talking about. I mean, that's something that's very, especially down south, that's very unique to like college sports and especially football. And, when I was at Auburn, that was like one of the best selling points when I decided to go there, was like, I went to a tailgate and I was like, this is what we're doing. Like, you can count me in on that. So, I mean, just kind of creating that environment and having a place where you can come watch all the big games. It's just kind of a no brainer. You wake up on Saturdays. Oh, well, we're heading down to Grind City. So,
right. It just being able to know that happens, man, that's so much fun. And the college game day thought is fun as well, to have something to do before the game gets started, to have your coffee, come listening to us and hang out, get ready for the games, find out what's all, watch me and Rusty. We'll make fools of ourselves. Lee Corso did the famous headgear and he's retiring. He's going to do week 0, I guess, for college game day. He's retiring. Rusty's going to do his own thing with that. But instead of a headgear, what did you say? You said one of those spandex ones,
leotards.
You're gonna rip off your.
I thought you were gonna shave the logo into your chest.
He's not real bad when I tried. I practiced. It didn't work too well.
He's not man enough to. I mean, what are you going? He's going to have to take tweezers to get rid of it. So.
But no, we are excited. So Zach, kind of give a backstory, kind of who Grind City is, what y'all are about. I know y'all got some music fest. Y'all can't see it here, but we'll post some pictures. Got a beautiful lawn out here, but kind of tell the folks about Grind City, what y'all do.
Yeah, absolutely. So we opened in October of 2020. Definitely an interesting time to open it up. But it's been a great experience. So this October will be our 5-year anniversary. We do our Oktoberfest every year, which in my opinion is the best event we do. We blow it out. It's awesome. And so, that'll be 5 years. But, we have a great team here, and our focus is making good beer and good times, essentially. And so that's kind of why, with the event focus and everything like that, we're just trying to coordinate the best we can to deliver the best experience possible for our guests. And so that's what we're just continuing to do. It's what we've kind of always done. And so, you talked about the music stuff. So we've done 2 years of Grind City Fest. I'm sure a lot of you have come to that. It's been huge both times. We did a solo show as well with Primus, which was just unreal. And that was kind of the final test for that. And it just went so well, we decided it was time to kind of double down on that. And with the space we have in the yard and the incredible view and everything, being outdoor live music to Memphis is something that people kept saying, they kept returning to, is like when they came out here, they're like, man, we just don't have anything else like this here. So this spring is when we're going to go undergo some small renovations to get this place ready. Tap room's always going to stay open. No worries there. And by the springtime, we'll be rolling into concerts. I mean, just a full Grind City Brewing, and then we'll have the amphitheater piece as well. We're looking to do 10 to 12 shows a year. Big names, artists that you guys will know and love. And I think it's just going to be super special and unique, and something that the city is kind of looking for, and we want to provide that. So I'm super excited about it.
Yeah, man. Seeing the lawn here and seeing what's capable here it makes sense to have this be in that venue, right? And as a fan of beer, obviously this body, as I said on the show on Monday, he works out, but he doesn't say no to beer. Like, I'm a fan of
body's
good beer.
built by beer.
That's it,
Right.
exactly
Yeah,
right, man. And I'm a fan of the good beer here at Grind City. I'm working on a Thaddeus here.
Yeah, all the boys are.
man,
day off.
That's
Not
it,
for
man.
me, but
Yeah.
I work at a brewery.
You
So.
work at a brewery.
If,
So
if
it's a
you
day off.
don't have a beer,
Yeah.
are you working?
Well, I have
Like,
to. Someone has to sample the product. You know what I
That's
mean?
it.
I
It's
mean,
a tough job.
Yeah,
man,
we got
but-
some Thaddeus,
Yeah.
which is the easy
yeah.
drinking amber. These are the two football beers, in my opinion. You got
Yeah.
a perfect easy drinking amber, and then this is our Gator Patrol, which is the tangerine cream sour, which is
yeah.
basically
Oh, good.
a mimosa in a can, which
Yeah.
I kind of use as my
Yeah.
way to kick
Breakfast
off.
drink.
Right.
Way to kick off
I
Saturdays.
mean, if you're going to drink
and so-
before lunch, you got to have something
mean,
with fruit.
That's
you
it.
might as
Yeah.
well, right?
As a friend of the show, Lauren Massey's always said, you can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning.
That's right.
And that's a
That's
great
right.
way to get it kicked off for sure. So, Zach, we've talked about kind of the events and stuff, what's going to be going on here. What do y'all got going on this week? We want to highlight that before we get into more college football.
Yeah. I mean, this is a huge week for us outside of announcing this partnership, which we couldn't be more excited about. We're doing our Wizarding Week here, which I don't know what our crossover is between Harry Potter.
Probably just
Yeah,
Rusty.
yeah.
We got Luke, we got Maggie in the comments.
Yeah.
Folks,
So for our listeners that are diehard sports fans and also diehard Harry Potter fans, we're doing a Wizarding Week here. It kicks off tonight at 6:30 with trivia. Tomorrow night we will be doing a costume contest and game night. Winner of the costume contest is getting the Harry Potter cake from
let's go.
we had a local bakery, shout out Prima's Bakery. They're making that for the winner, which is going to be super cool. And then Friday night we're doing the first movie, Sorcerer's Stone, and gonna have popcorn and everything like that. Saturday, I'm super pumped. We're doing the Diagon Alley Market in the back, and the most exciting part for all the beer lovers, we are releasing the Snitch in a can, which is our butterscotch beer.
Right.
And so that is we did it last year for a run, and it was a fan favorite. We're doing 50 cases on Saturday. When the 50 cases are gone, they're gone. So
Oh, wow.
it's super limited, going to be super fun. Hoping for a big crowd to come out. The beer's incredible. Had one yesterday, and it turned out great. So and then Sunday we wrap things up with a Horcrux hunt, which is going to be like a family-friendly scavenger hunt. You can come up at any time, get a piece of paper, look for clues around the brewery, and win a prize. So it's a fun week, and that's kind of the type of stuff that we try to do. Is like when we do something, we go all in on it. So we're going all in. We're doing a full week of it, and giving the people what they want.
That's awesome, man. That sounds like fun. Being able to just have a space and just put on events. Like, I think you may have one of the best jobs in the world.
Yes, it is a very. I'm very blessed. It is a very fun job. I mean, get to hang out, come up with reasons to get people up here to come drink beers and hang out with us. It's a fun thing to do. We get to be creative and come up with cool things to do, and it's a blast.
Well, we've talked about the best part of your life. That's being the marketing guy here at Grind City Brewing.
I know where this is
let's
going.
talk about the worst aspect of your life, and that is the Auburn Tigers.
Yeah.
So,
it is.
listen, it's been a struggle. Hugh Freeze doesn't answer all prayers. But let's just
the ones that involve the escorts and strippers.
Hey,
he's
allegedly, right? I don't know.
So I'm, my I could sit here and talk with you about Hugh Freeze for several hours, but we won't. Let's just start here. So Auburn finished the season, kind of an underwhelming season. They go to Norman, Oklahoma to get their quarterback in Jackson Arnold. It seems like the press think they're about a middle of the road SEC school, but everybody kind of adds the caveat that this receiving core is great. They could be the darling, the dark horse. What say you?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, Auburn has caused me a lot of pain and suffering, but I'm very proud to be an Auburn Tiger.
Listen,
all right.
Neither of us cheer for like historic winners. Okay,
That's right. Yeah,
You're preaching to the choir here.
No, but I mean, look, I kind of feel a little. It could go really, really, really good this year, or I could be incredibly disappointed and kind of be like, where do we go from here? This Hugh Freeze thing just didn't work. I mean, I know Auburn has a bad rep for being like, we're going to kick the coach out of town so quickly and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, we had a long run with Gus. I loved Gus. I was upset when we fired Gus. I thought it was the wrong decision. Of course, we can just skip everything to do with Brian Harsin. I mean,
What a
that was
wild
just,
time, man.
yeah, I mean, that was just a nightmare. But yeah, I mean, Hugh, this is a pivotal year for him, and he's putting his faith into Jackson Arnold. We had the report come out this morning for people who are super locked into Auburn sports that, you know, he had the defense take it easy in spring practice on Arnold. He plans to do the same in the fall to get his confidence up. I mean, I get it in the sense of we got to get his confidence up. He really, really struggled last year, which I'll get into a second about, is that really his fault? But either way, you don't love your head coach coming out and being like, our quarterback might be a little soft, or we're treating him that way and all that kind of stuff. That's not great. I like Arnold a lot. I'm excited about him. I think this whole season comes down to him essentially, because like you said, Cam Coleman, dog, got the #1 transfer portal receiver, and Eric Singleton Jr. out of Georgia Tech, who's had like back-to-back 700-yard seasons, absolute dog. And I really like this kid, Horatio Fields out of Wake Forest, 4 or 5 tutties last year, 500 yards, elite speed. I think we can use the two of them together. It looks like Simmons is back on the team. He practiced yesterday.
I know that was a question mark. There's been a couple of It's like Georgia, it's like West Georgia there. They're kind of getting some arrests this offseason.
Yeah, it's you know, not great situation. He was back practicing. He's he's elite as well. So it's, in my opinion, it's the best receiving room that Auburn's probably ever had. We've never had a 1,000-yard receiver. I mean, name the last Auburn wide receiver that was drafted high.
Sammy Coates.
Sammy Coates probably the highest. Yeah. I mean, we've had a couple guys who've guy up with the Giants. I can't think of his name right now, but he had a couple good years with the Giants. But either way, you know, we haven't been known as wide receiver U by any means. With this core that we have, I mean, if we can just find competence out of Arnold, and you know, he didn't throw a lot of picks last year. Fumbles were a problem. Got to clean those up. But I mean, Oklahoma's offensive line last year was historically bad.
Yeah,
they gave up 50 sacks almost last year. Auburn gave up almost about half that. Right. And Auburn's offensive line wasn't great last year. I think it's vastly improved. We have experience there. So, I mean, I think if Arnold can be competent, get some confidence early in the season, I think Baylor is a huge test on the road Friday night in Waco. I'm really excited to that. If he can show me something there, and then, you know, the season kind of comes down to me, that first SEC, he has to go back to Oklahoma, which is like going to be a huge game, a lot of pressure on him. Right. If he can step up and perform there, I think we're kind of off to the running. Yeah. And then it's A&M after that. That first two, that's a tough like stretch there on the road. So yeah, I mean, I think it'll be interesting to see, but I think there's a lot of promise.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. The offensive line has been retooled. There is some experience. There's a couple new pieces there. Can they protect Jackson Arnold? Because he's shown that under duress, he's going to make some pretty bad decisions. And so can you protect him? And then defensively, I do want to talk about that, because Auburn is always known for having really good defensive linemen and really good linebackers. You know, your own head coach yesterday said to win in this league, you have to have length and girth. Pause.
Amen.
But the defense is what's going to have to carry Auburn in a lot of games this year. Right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think week one, Baylor's got a very questionable offensive line. So I think that's a great test for us to see, like, if we got the dogs, they need to show up early.
Good. Baylor's
oh yeah, no, they're not a bad team whatsoever. And so I think if we can pressure the quarterback week one, and I mean, Falk is consistent on draft boards, is like the 8th top 10 pick right now. I mean, that guy is scary good. If we can have a couple other, so he's going to get a lot of double teams. If we can have other people step up around him, you know, we have a good starting linebacking core. The depth is lacking there, which makes me nervous, because you're always one injury away from.
And kind of the secondary too, right?
Secondary too. It's now I feel better about the secondary this year, because we have a lot of guys who are going to have more experience. So last year we were super young on the secondary. Once there were some injuries came into play, it just kind of fell apart. So I think, you know, with everything that we did I mean, this is on paper, just depth wise and everything like that. I think, like, our blue chip rating or whatever is like 65 this year. No team has ever won the national championship that's been under 50. So, I mean, you're looking at like a team that has the talent there.
Auburn's going to win the national championship.
I'm not saying
you heard
that.
it. You heard
I'm
it.
not saying that.
You heard
I'm
it.
not saying
He
that.
said
But
it.
I'm saying we have the talent to compete with top
Right.
level teams.
Yeah.
It's just, are those pieces going to fall together? And I think that starts
Well,
at quarterback.
You've got to really be careful when looking at your team now in terms of depth, because what NIL has done in conjunction with the transfer portal is that every team is losing their depth, because what is the most important is being able to get playing time. So your second string guys are going to somebody who's going to make them first string guys.
100%.
Every single school is going to deal with that. I think you look at what Georgia, how they struggled last year. They lost to Ole Miss, they lost in the playoff. Alabama only won 9 games last year. A lot of that is because the factory is not there. They are not churning out the next 5-star linebacker that waited till he was a junior to play. Those guys are leaving, and so every team in the SEC, including LSU, including Georgia, including Ole Miss, and Mississippi State doesn't have a quarterback anyways, but you're one quarterback injury away from not even going to a bowl game. Like there is just no depth there. And you're talking about Jackson Arnold being the most important player for Auburn. Stack that up against anybody in the SEC. If you don't have a quarterback that at minimum doesn't lose you games, then you might as well just start planning for next season.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's kind of what we had to deal with these last few seasons with Thorne, was just, and Hank Brown that came in and everything like that. I mean, the turnovers killed us. I mean, super inefficient in the red zone last year. I mean, just could not put the ball in the end zone. And so, I mean, that's kind of what we're looking for, I think, out of Arnold, is just make the right plays, no boneheaded turnovers, and put the ball in our playmakers' hands. Right. And he is dual threat. He can run super well. I mean, that's kind of like going back and watching the tape from last year. That was when I was most intrigued by him. And so I think if he can be somewhat like a Jarrett Stidham was for Auburn, and just kind of make the right, I mean, Stidham's year that he took us to the SEC championship, he made the right plays. We ran the ball a lot. He was able to be mobile enough to pick up big yards when needed. And we beat number 1 Alabama at home. 2 weeks before that, we beat number 1 Georgia at home.
Right.
Ended up getting Kerryon Johnson, who was our workhorse that year, ended up getting hurt. We losing the SEC championship. But I mean, we have Georgia at home again this year. We have Bama at home again this year. I like the way the schedule does play out for us. Yeah, I was going to say, if you want to get into that a little bit, I mean, I think obviously Georgia and Bama are always, those are huge tests. Always.
But you get them at home.
We get them at home, both at home. Jordan-Hare, weird stuff happens. Everybody knows it. That place, I've been to more games than I can count there. That place gets rocking. Yeah. And so anything can happen if we have some momentum going into those games. I think there's potential there.
And you could. Auburn Magic on the Plains is a real thing.
Real thing.
If you perform well at Oklahoma and at A&M, you got a bye week to prep for Georgia.
Yep.
Obviously, you get a bye week. You technically get 2 bye weeks before Alabama, because you've got Vanderbilt, who's not your grandfather's Vanderbilt. But you got an off week, you got Mercer, and then you got Alabama at home. And so there's a path there to be upsetting those 2 games. A lot of the predictions I'm seeing for Auburn are that they're going to have a top 10 to 15 defense. If Jackson Arnold, like you said, as a game manager like Stidham, that 7-5, 8-4 is a realistic possibility based on the schedule, because your other teams, you get Missouri at home, you're at Arkansas, at Vanderbilt, and Kentucky at home, and Kentucky's nothing. So you got to
look. I'll say this. I also like to think that way, but I mean, Hugh has lost some terrible games at Auburn. So I have no faith every single week. I mean, we play Ball State week 2.
Well,
my mother's alma mater, I might say. So that'll be house divided. But I mean, I'm nervous about every game, right? Until proven otherwise, you got to go out there and show it to me. But if we're talking about like potential, which is all we can do right now before the season starts, then I think if we can, go on the road in Waco, win that game. I already feel like that game's going to be like that Cal game on the road a couple years ago that we had, was just like gross. I mean, I hope it's better.
Ole Miss played at Cal, and it's ugly.
Yeah, but I just mean in the sense that like I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a dogfight. I think hopefully we can find a way to pull it out. And then after that, to me, it's like if we can win that Oklahoma game and kind of get off and running, it's great. If we lose at Oklahoma,
and then we go and lose an A&M, all of a sudden it's disaster
It
all over
snowballs.
again. Yep.
Yeah, because you don't want to be in a position to where you have to beat Alabama and Georgia for it to be a success.
Right. Yeah.
And so that's where I'm at with Auburn. And what I want to ask you, you said it. Hugh Freeze is known to put a team out there that's capable of a clunker. You know, one time I watched Ole Miss beat Alabama 2 years in a row, but in the same year they went and lost to Memphis here at Liberty Bowl, in which he injured our best player, our defensive tackle, by handing him off the ball on 3rd and 1. You know, and so it just crazy stuff. But if you're Auburn, is it as a success if you go 9-3, but 2 of the losses are to Alabama and Georgia, or is it success if you go to 9-3, but you beat Alabama and Georgia and you lose a couple clunkers? How do you judge success and failure?
I mean,
is it sheerly Alabama and Georgia?
Brother, if we go 9-3, I don't care how we do it. I'm going to be fired up. All right. I'll tell you that much. Yeah. I mean, look, the Alabama rivalry is just different. I mean, personally, as someone who grew up in Georgia, I hate Georgia like more because I've been barked at more times than I can count. And like, you know,
Rusty will bark it.
yeah,
He's a bulldog.
Yeah,
He will bark.
He'll do the cowbell. But
Never
so
been
I have
enough
like
to
a
bark.
different personal level hate for Georgia. You know, where like some kid who like went to my high school who like never like even went to college or something like that is like barking at me. I haven't talked to you in 10 years. I'm like, buddy, what are we doing here? All right. Like, I get it. But, you know, I think if we go 8-4, 9-3, I'm jazzed. I would prefer to just go out there and win the games that we're supposed to win, be competitive in the big games. But I think either scenario that you proposed, I would find a way to convince myself that that's perfectly fine. But yeah, I mean, I just think that this is, you know, year 3 for Hugh. He's got to win the games that he's got to win. There's no excuse with the talent that we have on the field to be losing games that we just should not be losing.
And that's Hugh Freeze's MO. There's always going to be that game every year that it's just like a boneheaded coaching decision or turnovers or things that are going to happen, and he's got to figure out how to mitigate that.
Year 3 at Ole Miss was when they went 9-3.
Right.
And so
beat Alabama.
Yep, beat Alabama. And I mean, we were, you know, his first year we were Hail Mary away from beating Alabama at home.
That was a shame.
Yeah.
I still can't get over that.
Devastated. But yeah, I mean, you know, so there's been like but even that's a loss. Like I need to be given something that is like early in the season this year to get me to buy like all the way back in a signature win. He doesn't really have like a signature big win or upset or anything like that yet. Every time someone brings it up, they're like, oh, well, he beat Alabama twice at Ole Miss. I'm like, okay, well, we fired Gus Malzahn, who had the most wins against Nick Saban. So it's like, I get like, I get it. We have a high standard.
Sure.
But you know, I mean, we won a natty in 2010. We went to the natty in 2013. Like, I mean, you know, we have a high standard for that. And so it's like, I'm not saying we need to be going out there and winning national championships every year. That's not realistic, but you got to win the games you're going to win and give me some signature wins. Give me something to be excited about. Go into Oklahoma and spank them. You know, give me something to get excited about.
Yeah. You know, that we can to draw a parallel real quick, and then we'll start talking about other stuff in the SEC. But to draw a parallel real quick with what you were talking about, a signature win, I feel like that's what Memphis Grizzlies fans, including myself, were preaching for. It seems like 82 games, the whole regular season last year was like, yeah, you beat up everybody you should have beaten, but like, what's the one team that like the one team that is held high, that's highly ranked in the standings, and you just go and beat them, and it's convincing, and you can look back and be like, okay, I know we're capable of this, instead of saying, okay, what we're capable of is just being dead in the middle of the NBA, you know?
And that's where Auburn's been. Can Hughes get them there? I guess time will tell. We'll see. The SEC is wide open, as we've seen. I mean, it's been top heavy for a long time. Alabama and Georgia are still kind of there. It's Texas, but then there's a large, like it's kind of gray right there underneath Texas. I think Texas is obviously, even with Arch Manning coming into his first year as a starter, Texas is kind of the class of the SEC. So Auburn with a few signature wins. I mean, you realistically, you go into that Georgia game 5-0. and you come out of that game, say you upset Georgia after that bye week, you're 6-0. You control your destiny in an SEC that has proven that you can get there.
Yeah, and Georgia's going to have couple big tests before then,
right?
Too. So we'll kind of know more about them. I mean, I think if we're just talking about the SEC as a whole right now, I mean, I think like you said, Texas, let's give them the benefit of the doubt, is kind of like the standard right now. I mean, I'm a diehard Colts fan. Manning family, it holds a special place in my heart. Sure. So same. I'm rooting for Arch, and I hope he's a dog. But so we'll give them a bit of a doubt. It's kind of like the standard. Mm-hmm. Next tier, you kind of go Georgia, Alabama. They've proven it. They've won championships. They're great programs.
I'd put LSU there.
I would too.
Yeah. No, that's a great point too, especially with
returning quarterback.
Yes, returning quarterback. 100%. That's great. And then after that, a lot of teams have Florida and South Carolina, great quarterbacks with a ton of potential. So I think those teams are kind of sitting up there, and it's like Ole Miss. I put
Auburn in there.
Yeah, Ole Miss is I trust. I was
going to say, I would say,
but
you can put Auburn there. I would put Oklahoma there. Again, I put so much stock into the quarterback that's playing, and if you've proven something in the past. And Crazy Legs Mateer from Washington State, but he had an incredible season last year. And so I do kind of think maybe if we're talking about puncher's chances here.
Yeah, I don't want to sleep on Tennessee either.
I do.
Because
I want to. Is
it
right?
Sure,
I don't know. I want to.
And look, that's all fair. I have a soft spot in my heart for Tennessee because I feel like they're like the other kind of Auburn where every year, when the divisions were split up, they also had to play Georgia and Alabama every single year. And so I think there's and they lost in just the most insane ways possible, which I can relate to a lot.
Yeah.
And of course, Peyton Manning bias, which gives another soft spot for me. But I think that obviously their quarterback situation is a huge question mark, but they're one of my Hupel, I think, is just a phenomenal coach.
Absolutely.
And I love his offense. And so I think if they can, find the right piece at quarterback, that's a tough place to go and play. I think I don't think they're in that upper right now, but I think they could play, be super. And especially now that all the Nico stuff's gone.
It's gone.
The hype's gone. Yeah. The Chosen Boy stuff is gone. Whatever that was doing with them.
And Tennessee has a lot of questions on both sides of the ball, both on running back and on defense. They lost a ton off that defense last year.
What's also questionable is their morals.
Always questionable morals. Like you said, there's that cloud in the middle of the SEC. Is Lagway and Sellers gonna be able to take that next step and be elite level quarterbacks? I mean, Sellers had some monster gains for South Carolina last year.
Yeah.
What's Tennessee going to do at quarterback? Right, they've got some guys with some arms, but in the SEC, proven quarterbacks that come back are always going to help you win games. Like Drew was saying, you got Nussmeier, you got that elite level tier. We'll see. Mississippi State, we are what we are. I'll briefly touch on that. Yeah, exactly. Right now, I hear you. Blake Shapen, can he stay healthy? We got the transfer in from Florida State. We've got a lot of question marks on offense. Doesn't matter. I got salty about this on our show last week because our defense is going to be a nightmare with Coleman Huxler running the defense again. But, there's a path there. And we'll say that for another
There's a path. Where's that path leading to, Rusty? Because it's the fire.
It's 6-6.
There is a wide open path to nothing.
Our path, our ceiling is 6-6. There's no doubt about that. Given the difficulty of our schedule that we've drawn yet again, it just feels like the SEC.
Same schedule as last year.
It's beating the crap out of us. We're just flipping and at least we get Texas at home, I guess. But anyway, I would be remiss if I didn't give you at least a little bit of the floor to talk about your Indiana Pacers. Zach is a big Pacers fan, and we talked kind of through the finals run there. We talked a bit about Hallie. I'm not trying to bring up old demons and put you on the spot here, but talk about your Pacers and their run to the finals, as we do have a lot of NBA fans in the comments.
Yeah. I got to give my boys their flowers, man. Just one of the most unbelievable runs of my fandom or anything like that. It was just unreal. It was just every other night tuning in, watching just something miraculous happen. And, you brought up earlier a key signature win, and that made me think about the Pacers. Earlier in the year, Hallie hits a fadeaway 3-pointer against the Bucks in a big game, buzzer beater. It was an and 1 4-point play or something like that too. It was insane. And that was kind of where, because we started off really rough at the beginning of the season. And that was a moment for me where it kind of turned around. Little did I know the insane level of that shot would actually be foreshadowing for what the playoffs would look like. But yeah, it was the most incredible run ever. He comes out in game 7, he hits those threes. I'm like, oh my God, we're going to win a championship. And then he goes down and I cried like a baby in my living room. And it was just the most gut wrenching way to go out. I mean, I've had a lot of heartbreak. I remember texting people were texting me like a family member died. They were like, I don't even know what to say. I'm so sorry.
I gave you like 2 days.
Yeah. People were just like, I don't even know. So yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of heartbreaking losses. I'm a Cleveland Guardians fan, die hard. 2016 was
Let's go.
Yeah, I know. I've heard it all, but so that was just absolutely devastating to lose that. I watched the Colts, Indianapolis fan there. So watched the Colts.
Not a big fan of Tom Brady then.
No, hate Tom Brady. Watch them lose like against the Saints in that Super Bowl.
I'm a Saints guy.
Yeah. Of course, Auburn. How many ways can you lose? Especially like the Final Four when I was in college when we lost to Virginia on the double dribble, which there was a double dribble, and then the free, and we think we won, and then the free throws, and just that was so devastating.
What was that guy's name?
Kyle Guy or
I was thinking of the guy who hit the shot at the end. Well, that was I don't know.
But anyway, so I've had a lot of heartbreaking losses. I think that was the worst because the what if will just like when the Guards lost, it was just like a slow burn of like 3. They won again. Oh God, is this really happening? And then the game 7 itself was just so up and down with the rain delay and everything like that. But that was like that was just like a slow being tortured to death. This one was like, oh my God, and then just a terrible injury. And
one of the worst emotional swings I think I've ever seen in a game.
Yeah.
Hallie being 3 for 4, cannot miss. Like you had Oklahoma City as much as you can in the first 7 minutes. You had them on the ropes because you were hot and you were pushing them. And then for it to end that way, I agree. Like it's just that's so hard to swallow because it just felt like it was like right there. Not to rub it in your face.
I mean, look, I'm numb to it now. But and then just the fact that like you lose a championship and you're like, well, we can always run it back next year. And then Hallie just is going to be out. And it's just, I mean, we got Jay Huff now. So future Hall of Famer Jay Huff.
Hey, you're going to love the backwards dunk.
Shout out
the reverse dunk.
Jay Huff bought Grind City beer one time. Shout out Jay Huff, dog. And, they're releasing mixtapes of him, doing these dunks.
His dunks
mixtape.
His dunk package is insane. But I mean, it just takes all of it out of you.
It's really hard to lose a game 7 and then arguably your second best player just leaves, and you're talking about Miles Turner just leaves and goes to the Bucks, and then you're not going to have Halliburton. I mean, that's brutal. But could I interest you in a 4th and 25? I would love to trade if you're familiar with 4th and 25. The Hunter Henry lateral. Ole Miss,
Jared in the comments.
Ole Miss beat won every one of their SEC games in the West except for Arkansas on a 4th and 25. At least you've been to an SEC championship game and a national championship,
and an NBA Finals.
And an NBA Finals.
No, I mean, there's been some there's just a certain group of teams that it feels like we're just destined.
And those people have no character.
That's what I'm always saying.
I've said for years, if you tell me you're an Alabama fan, I'm just kind of out because you don't know what it's like to struggle. You've got to be molded by fire, to appreciate things. If you're an Alabama fan or like a New England Patriots fan or a Lakers fan, you don't know what it's like to struggle. You've never been in the gutters we've been in.
Oh, I mean, my favorite people are the Alabama, Dallas Cowboys, Yankees, but somehow still Patriots. But now they were Lakers fans or they were Warriors fans, but then they became Celtics fans again because they have a grandmother that lives in Boston or something like that. I have a friend from college, and he was a Cavs fan because he's an Ohio State fan, and then he's a Celtics fan now. But then this year, at one point, he was like, well, maybe I'm a Cavs fan again. And then he's a Patriots fan and he's a Red Sox fan. And I'm like, because and then he's a Notre Dame fan too, but he's an Auburn fan.
Dude's the worst.
And I'm like,
who's worse than those people though? Are now new school fans don't cheer for teams and cheer
the
for players.
Cheer for players.
Yeah.
Miss
I
me with
hate
that,
somebody
man.
that cheers
Miss
for
me with
players
that.
because you know what? You never choose to root for the player that sucks.
Yeah.
You're only going to choose to root for look the people who are like jump from the Cavs to the Heat to the Lakers. Like I hate those people. Like,
Yeah, 'cause
what are you going to do? You're going to tie yourself to the one of the top two greatest basketball
Like,
players of all time.
I love LeBron. All right. My dad's from
respect
Akron.
him.
My dad's from
I respect
Akron,
him.
right? So
He's
like
just a
as
kid from Akron.
Yeah, my dad's just a
Yeah.
kid from Akron.
Yeah.
So when I was growing up and my dad was like, I'm from this place and the greatest new basketball players from there.
Okay.
I was like, yeah, that's
fair.
You
awesome,
get a
right?
ticket to the ride.
So I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, LeBron's great or whatever. When the Pacers went back-to-back years in the Eastern Conference against LeBron, I was like the biggest
done with
LeBron hater alive because I'm a Pacers
That's how
fan.
it works,
Like, you
man.
know,
that's how it works.
My favorite meme of all time was like women are just look at their husbands and like, so your dad tells you who to root for when you're a kid, and then for the rest of your life you're emotionally damaged by people who just wear the same laundry that you like. And I was like, yeah, that's it.
But
That's
they
it.
can't.
That's it.
But if
Yeah.
you stick with your team, they can no longer question your loyalty
I mean,
because
that's it.
I mean,
That's
And
it.
you know what? One day we're going to get it.
Yeah.
oh, and when
In
it happens, it'll be so much
In
better.
2020, 22, Ole Miss went to the College World Series and won it. My dad and I drove to Omaha, Nebraska. It was a religious experience
Yeah.
because we've been through it.
And not to
Right.
rub it in your face, but in 2016, that Cubs championship, I cried in my living room. Could have been the Woodford Reserve, but I cried in my living room because it was like that was what my grandfather and I
You
like.
cried like 7 times during that one game.
I did like multiple times, but like my grandfather and I grew up watching WGN. We struggled like with the Cubs and Mark Grace and all those years when they were so bad and lovable losers. And I've heard all the jokes and the Bartman incident and all that. And to finally get it, like I had so many people texting me, like as a true Cubs fan, like I know this has got to feel good. And that's just where it's at. Like you have to earn your stripes. So these new like faceless Twitter accounts that are all about SGA and the Thunder, like I got nothing for those guys because you haven't been through it. And so when, and I'm not saying if, but when there's that championship parade on Beale Street, it'll be so fulfilling because we went through the grind. We went through the years of injuries. We went through
And
the
you think
Ed
we're
Davises
arrogant
to
now.
get here. Yeah, we will be.
You think we're arrogant now?
Yeah.
I hope we don't play the Pacers when we make it.
I'd have to move, man.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be able to handle it. Yeah. I mean, it's just it's all about that. I mean, that's what's great about sports, in my opinion, is like, you know, the community that it builds and everything like that, and that you can just have an instant bond with someone over a team, and the fact that like you've gone instantly if you meet someone who's a fan of your teams, you guys have that shared experience,
Right.
And that goes for a whole city and a whole community together, and that's what's so great about it is it's the great equalizer. You know, it brings us all together over a shared thing that is literally, you know, putting a ball in a hoop or running on a grass field, but it's so much more than that, man. It's so much more.
And that's why we like to do it together in places like this place.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Because we got plenty of space to go through it together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And win or lose, we booze, baby.
That's it.
So
That's
you know
it.
what I
That's
mean?
it.
I mean,
Absolutely.
we got it here for you.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Good beer goes with good football. And we got a lot of exciting things coming this fall. I know more will be released on socials as we get closer to time, but we've got a lot of great other partners who are going to be joining us. A lot of really cool events coming this fall. But one more time, Zach, thank you again for being here, man. But this week, remind me the schedule again as we celebrate, because Harry Potter's birthday is tomorrow. So that's the
Yep.
Is
Yeah,
it?
yeah. That's
Right?
why
Yeah, it's his
we're
birthday
that's why
tomorrow.
we're
I
doing
need to
it,
see a
so.
birth certificate. I'm gonna be a truther.
Yeah.
I mean, see the certificate.
So tell them the schedule one more time.
Yeah. Wednesday we have or tonight. Tonight we have trivia. So that is tonight. Harry Potter trivia kicking off at 6:30. Tomorrow, Harry Potter's birthday celebration, costume contest, and game night. Friday, we're screening the first movie at 7:00. And then Saturday, Diagon Alley Market and the Snitch Beer release. Snitch Beer release is at noon. And then the market is from 3 to 8. So a little later in the afternoon.
Now the beer, are you able to purchase it by the 6-pack, or is it only on tap?
So it'll be on draft all week.
Okay.
So you can get it all week on draft. And then on Saturday is for to-go purchases. You can buy by the case or by the 4-pack.
Okay.
And so we'll have a little separate station set up over here. You can either buy a ticket at the bar to redeem it here if you're already getting draft beer, or if you're just coming to pick that up, you can come over right underneath this sign where we are now. We'll have a table for that. 50 cases. When it's gone, it's gone. Then hang out after that. Go through the market. We have some great vendors. We got about 10 vendors. Everything from food to
little
speaking of,
trinkets.
super stoked about the food tonight. It's very Potter themed sandwiches and sides and stuff coming tonight for trivia. Maggie and I are gonna be here tonight. Y'all come hang out. It's gonna be a great time. But the sandwich you shall not be named sounds amazing. Like it's just some cool stuff going on.
Yeah, absolutely. They do some great stuff. And so, it's gonna be great. And Sunday we wrap things up with the scavenger hunt, the Horcrux hunt, which should be great. So yeah, we're super pumped. It's gonna be a great, fun theme week. Everybody come out in your costumes and everything like that. Like I said, us and our regulars and our fans that come out here, everybody goes all in. So,
you don't really need a costume to look like Hagrid.
No, I mean, I'm basically Hagrid. Just put on a coat and some long breeches. And I'm Hagrid. Basically.
That's
so,
right.
But again, we're 1 month away from the kickoff of college football. We've got on opening weekend, Texas and Ohio State, Alabama, Florida State, LSU and Clemson. Games throughout the entire day. We're going to be here hanging out, broadcasting live from Grind City with some pregame shows. Again, Bluff City Media personalities are going to be here. Beer and food specials all day. It's going to be a great time. Make sure y'all are here August 30th for the kickoff of college football season. Cannot wait. Zach, thanks again for hosting us. What a great venue, good beer, great people around here. It's already decorated. I'm looking around at all the different houses and their flags and stuff, but awesome venue. Thanks for having us and being on the show today, man, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, this was a blast.
We'll do it again.
Yeah, for
absolutely.
Sure.
So thank y'all for tuning in today. We'll be back here live Friday at 11 o'clock. Make sure you tune in this afternoon at 2 p.m. for the Anthony Sain Show. In the meantime, be a friend to somebody who needs a friend. And Drew, there are no refunds for what you heard today.
That's right. Because with the $2, you always get what you pay for. And the cost of the brick is going up.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of the $2 Sports Show. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page, like this video, and leave a comment. We will see you back here in a few days.